Yeah, you need an initial hole. I don't care if my pants get wet. Where's the lid?
Welcome in to Keep It About Ball, bitch.
Just a splash.
Shitbag lizard people.
Bro's QB2 is Aiden O'Connell.
Bucks on Peyton. Actually, when you add up the pick value, when you crunch the numbers, who the fuck's Jennifer?
Welcome into the ZBR podcast. My name is Brady, the B and Zebra, and we're going to be doing this one solo today. I'm going to give you my bottom 8 NFL franchises of all time, and a little bit why I have them ranked where they are. So, we'll just dive right into it and start with the Arizona Cardinals coming at 32. This wasn't really a hard choice. They've been around since 1920. One of the oldest NFL franchises ever, and they have nothing to show for it. No really premier players when you're looking at, as a history standpoint, just like, as far as, I guess, Larry Fitzgerald recently, but over history, just nothing, and they've also been ranked almost dead last in every category across the league, voted from players, as far as how they're treated, the facility, the food they give them, just all around, just the worst. And it really wasn't a hard choice. So Arizona at 32 and 31. This may be a little bit of hatred on my part, and I don't think so. You could rank them anywhere near the bottom, and you can make a valid point. But that's the Detroit Lions at 31. Yeah, they've been around for damn near 100 years and also have nothing to show for it. They wasted arguably the greatest running back of all time, Barry Sanders, and they may have made one NFC Championship game in the 90s with him, but gave him little to no help. So, and also wasted away the Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford years. And I also have a winless record in their franchise, so just absolute shit. So, and will remain poverty. So, coming in at 30, I know this team was a little bit newer here. I believe they came in like 1995. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they have had a little success here and there with, Maurice Jones-Drew, and I believe Jack Del Rio was the head coach. Sounds about right. When David Garrard and Byron Leftwich too. Those were the two quarterbacks, kind of that era. But they had a little success here and there, and then recently, with Blake Bortles and I believe Jalen Ramsey was on that team in like 2018. But they'll pop up and have a decent team every once in a while, but they're for the most part just pretty bad, and not much else to say on that. So in 29, this was actually fairly close for me with these two teams. The Houston Texans. They're a little bit newer. Jacksonville, they came in 2002, but they have had a little bit more success as recent, and I just feel like they are much better ran organization. I feel like they nailed the head coach. I think they just got their franchise quarterback, stud defensive end last year too, and Will Anderson Jr. So things are looking up, and they also trade for Stephon Diggs and have a couple other good wide receivers. So Houston Texans might be a team to watch out for this year in the AFC. They can put it all together anyway. So Houston Texans just slightly above Jacksonville in my rankings at 29. So coming in at 28, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Really nothing to show for them. They've been around for a bit, I believe since the 60s or 70s. 2 Super Bowl appearances, one in 98, beat my Vikings, and also the biggest choke job in NFL history against the Patriots, a 28-3 blown lead. So outside of that, they've had a few good players here and there where you're like, makes you remember them, like Mike Vick and a few other, like Julio Jones and a couple players like that, the franchise have had. But outside of that, it's really just poor, very poor. Coming at 27, they're also a newer franchise, but That's why had them above Atlanta Falcons. That's Carolina Panthers. They also have had 2 Super Bowl appearances. They have actually had a few decent players in their franchise where, they're really, really like damn near Hall of Fame players like Julius Peppers. You got Steve Smith Sr. Say what you want about Cam Newton, but he was an MVP of the league and got to a Super Bowl. So Luke Kuechly, and hell, even they drafted Christian McCaffrey. So I mean, they seem to be pretty poorly run right now with their owner. He's kind of a joke, but I like their head coach that they hired, and maybe he can turn Bryce Young around. So we'll see about that. I'm actually really curious to see how they end up performing, because Bryce Young doesn't perform in year 2, then I can't imagine they're going to fire another head coach after 1 year, but they might be looking to draft another quarterback soon. But Josh Allen was bad for 3 years too, and it did take him that long. So maybe we wait a bit, and I know people like to put the bust label on really early, but we'll see about that. So, Carolina Panthers at 27. Coming at 26, we got the Cincinnati Bengals. They were competitive in the 80s. I believe they made 2 Super Bowls in the 1980s, and they were competitive in the Chad Johnson era, Carson Palmer, T.J. Houshmandzadeh. They were, Marvin Lewis, I believe, was his coach. Now, he could never really, ever, I don't think they ever won a playoff game, but God, they always got there. You always wonder if they ever had like a decent head coach coaching that squad. They might have maybe made a Super Bowl. Who knows? And then also they've been, with the recent success in Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they made a Super Bowl. That's 2-3 years ago. Almost cashed that one in, but they seem to draft decent. They had Andy Dalton, so they just never can put it together fully. So Cincinnati at 26 for me. And coming in at 25, the last team in this list, it's the LA Chargers. The Chargers, kind of just erratic, like fucking franchise, man. They're just, you never know what you're gonna get with them. Like, I feel like everyone's like, oh, this is the Chargers' year, and they just fall flat on their faces. That's kind of like the story of that franchise, is falling flat on their face for expectations. And I believe, I want to say they may have appeared in a Super Bowl in the early 80s. I'm not quite sure on that. But they did have some recent success. I won't say recent, but some success with like a Marty Schottenheimer. He was a damn good coach, and he's one of my favorite coaches of all time. Don't care what anyone else says. He was awesome. The LT years, Phillip Rivers, even Drew Brees before that. I mean, they've had some really good players, and it just kind of sucks that they have never been able to put it together, But so that rounds out my list of the bottom 8 NFL franchises for today, and I will just run through that real quick. 32, Arizona Cardinals. 31, Detroit Lions. 30, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 29, Houston Texans. 28, Atlanta Falcons. 27, Carolina Panthers. 26, Cincinnati Bengals. And 25, LA Chargers. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Alright, and I'll see you guys next time.
Shitbag lizard people.
Bro's QB2 is Aiden O'Connell.
Fuck Sean Payton. Actually, when you add up the pick value, when you crunch the numbers, who the fuck's Jonathan?